From your point of view, give me an idea of what that does to your team playing in those types of games and then having that type of success and playing in the extra period.
Well, the confidence that this team has, being able to win significant close games, and the ones they've won on the road has just been incredible. And to go through the SEC undefeated on the road, unprecedented in the history of LSU basketball, is a pretty cool thing. And it just gives a team so much confidence, and they expect to win those games. And I think when you have that type of belief in one another. And the other thing that really is special about this team is you can go through that whole roster last night. The guys that played in that game, every one of them had their moments of contributing to winning that game in some significant way. And I think that's the really special thing about this team right now is how we've seen different players at different moments in the game, critical moments in the game, make the right play at the right time. It helps the Tigers win the game. It's just been unbelievable to watch, fun to watch as well.
We talked about this a little bit last segment, and I brought it up yesterday morning with Greg Golden in the shoot-around. And it's something that we don't talk about publicly with this team, but from a coach, the emphasis that you must put on this is having your team in shape. LSU is such a well-conditioned team. We don't talk about that in all these overtime games, the diamond press last night and all the running that they did in the final 6 minutes. When you look at this team and their conditioning, what do you see?
Well, I think this time of the year, you're going to be in shape anyway. And now we've got an 8-man rotation basically. So those guys are comfortable with the minutes they're going to get. They kind of know when they're going to go in and different matchups that Coach Wade can use. But, this team is well conditioned. That whole staff that Will has put together, each of them have a role to play and they do it well, whether it's whoever's preparing the team for the scout, whoever, the weight training, the strength training. They're good guys, and I've been around those guys as you have some, and they all do a great job, and it's a good staff. And the staff is as important as the team. A good coaching staff that works well together, believes in one another, and is unselfish too, develops a camaraderie about it that's necessary to win a championship, just like this team has done. They're unselfish. They develop a great camaraderie about them, and that's why they're on their way to an SEC championship, and it's been really fun and great to watch.
Coach Brady, yesterday we asked you about Nas, kind of what was the game plan for, because you knew Florida's going to double him the same way they did game one. Indeed, they ended up doing that. How do you feel that he performed through that double team last night?
I thought he did an excellent job. I thought the second half he made some really good passes out of the double team. He turned it over a couple of times, but they came at him late in the game, and he took a dribble away from the double team, and he threw a couple of cross-court passes that guy either shot the ball or he made the extra pass and they attacked the closing defender. And I think that was the exact way to do it. I thought he did a nice job with it. I commented on the air one time that he did a disciplined pass out of the double team. He surveyed it. He made the correct pass, threw it cross court, and I think that's the time when Javonte Smart hit a three out of the double team. So I thought he did a nice job with it.
How dangerous is he if he gets that drop step move and starts hitting that baby hook that he put in last night?
Well, he had a couple of bad luck shots too. I thought that were really nice moves, deliberate, under control moves at the rim that just didn't go in, and he also made a couple. So, he's just a presence. The thing about Nas is wherever he is on the floor, he's a presence there. The other team has to pay attention to him. So he does help the offense, even though sometimes he may not touch it or he does make a move that the ball doesn't go in. He's a presence that the other team has to plan for.
You see the three-point rattle in for Florida, 6 seconds on the clock. You're thinking what?
What do you say now? What was that?
When the Florida three-pointer goes in with 6 seconds left from Jalen Hudson, LSU inbounds the ball, you're thinking what as Tremont's coming up the floor?
Well, Will went to the 1-3-1 zone. I asked him that after, and he thought, it would be a good change to do that. And they did hit and made him shoot a perimeter shot, which he wanted them to do. So they shoot the perimeter shot. It goes in, and then what I liked about it is, and what I've always agreed with, is you attack a retreating defensive team and just drive the ball to the rim. They're either going to foul you most of the time or they get out of the way like they did with Tremont, and he laid it in. I'm so glad he didn't try to pull up and win the game with a 3 in transition, that he had presence of mind to just drive it on a retreating defender. I thought Florida made a mistake later in that over. They called a timeout, and LSU was able to set the defense or change the defense. I thought Florida should have come down and attacked LSU right away and not called a timeout. But, Tremont did the right play. Will did the right thing. I think not calling timeout, it worked out. We got the game to overtime. And, look, this year when you played LSU in overtime, you've got some issues because we have won some close games.
4-0 on the road in conference in overtime. Just an unbelievable stat. 9-0 on the road. We're talking to Coach John Brady here on Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN, 100.3, 94.7. Coach, so one thing, though, and there's always a negative contingent to the fan base, right? And the kind of thing that I keep seeing is, well, LSU, no matter who the opponent is, they're always playing close games. So it's like they're playing up, they're playing down to their opponent, and then they go on to say, and that really worries me about when it comes to tournament time. When you view how close LSU's games have been this year, has their journey up to this point, how do you feel that translates to March?
I think any thought process like that, those people are just negative anyway. They could win the lottery and they get mad because they got to pay taxes on it. I don't understand any of that thought process. Here we are, LSU's going to win an SEC championship on Saturday, I assume. Yeah. And these people are trying to find something wrong with how they're winning close games. They may be suicidal if we had lost some of those close games. Everybody just needs to embrace that thing. You know what I'm happy about is that there's a sellout crowd in there on Saturday to help LSU win an SEC championship in basketball for the first time in 10 or 11 years, win it outright. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be fun to watch and sit there and experience that with this team and that group of coaches.
First time since your team did it back in 2009.
All right, Coach. So here's where I get a bit. I'm not worried, but life is funny. Vanderbilt's winless. Obviously, LSU should just go take care of business. They should win the game. But if you're the coach of this team right now, how are you trying to just drive it home and make sure that everybody's locked in and no one's already kind of looking ahead? Because it is real easy to feel like last night almost the championship was won.
Well, I also look at see how Vanderbilt played last night too, and they went to Arkansas and got beat 30. Now, I can't imagine that Vanderbilt is real excited about coming to Baton Rouge.
It's going to be crazy.
Like LSU.
Right.
Huh?
I said it's going to be crazy in there too Saturday. So, I think they're going to have the crowd behind them.
So I think you've got to look at where Vanderbilt is. You can look at where LSU is and then look where Vandy is. And I don't believe, as I've been around this team and this coaching staff this season, been in and out of practices and see game day workouts, and see the preparation that goes on, I will be stunned if LSU's not ready to go, and I'll also be stunned if Vanderbilt comes in here and plays a quality game based on what I saw them do last night at Arkansas.
How cool is it as a coach to cut down nets?
It's probably the most rewarding thing you can do, and to experience that with the fans at home, and watch the players do that sort of thing. It's the most rewarding thing for a coach to be able to experience, and I'm anticipating that LSU is going to be ready to go, and we're going to all enjoy that with the coaching staff and this team.
What a cool personal experience for me 2 nights ago to sit and listen to stories with you and Monty Tao and Andy Kennedy about the coaching trade. How cool is that for you guys to get back together? It seemed like a great experience for you all.
Well, it's like anything else.
Yeah, man.
Friendships enrich one's life, and being able to coach in all the years that I've had, I've made a lot of friends out there in the coaching profession. There's something about coaches that are different than a lot of people. And to have friendships like that and to see those guys and to go out and just talk, reminisce, cut up, have fun in a relaxed state now without being worried about the next game, it's a really nice place to be in. And I was glad you were able to go and hear some of those guys and hear some stories that they have to tell. Monty Tao is an amazing guy for 5'8", winning a national championship at NC State with David Thompson. And I always tell him he invented the alley-oop to David Thompson back in the day when nobody knew what it was.
Coach, great call last night. Hit him straight today. We'll see you Saturday.
I'll do it, man.
Thank you,
y'all.
man.
All right, Coach.
All right.